Bienvenidos to Humans in Accounting, the podcast where we pause the AI buzz for a minute and focus on the real humans behind the numbers. We chat with founders and leaders to hear their journey, what drives them, and the important things in life. Because behind every balance sheet, there's a story worth telling. Humans in Accounting is brought to you by South Offices. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Humans in Accounting, where leaders share their story behind the spreadsheets. As you know, I am Alex Roman, and this podcast is brought to you by South Offices, connecting accounting talent across borders. Today's guest, I'm really happy to introduce Tony Proctor, founder founder and firm principal at Proctor Associates. You're also a speaker, you're also a husband and a dad, and you're a great guy, and probably I'm missing a few other adjectives that I can introduce you. Tony, welcome to Humans in Accounting. I'm really happy we're doing this.
Appreciate it, Alex. Appreciate the opportunity to be here, man.
Thank you so much. We met. My guess is like 450 days ago or something like that.
Do you have that in an Excel sheet somewhere?
No, I swear to God, no, but I know that it's a little bit more than a year, and I know that it's less than 2 years, and 450 sounds about right. We were in Arizona. We had at some point chicken tenders by the bowl. Now you are here as a guest in Humans in Accounting. I'm happy to have you. Let's start. I want to know everything.
Okay.
I know you're the founder at Proctor Associates, and I'm pretty sure that you founded this company a few years ago. Tell me everything. Tell me how you started, when you started. I want to know it all.
All right. So I actually started early in the 2000s, just kind of doing tax returns kind of here and there, like friends and family only. And then things kind of started spreading from there. And so 2007, that's the official date of birth for the firm. 2007. I decided, hey, let me stand up something, an actual entity, so that I can do this as a business. Now, back then, 2007, I was actually working full-time in IT management. IT manager during the day, tax dude at night and weekends. And so did that from 2007 as a side hustle, June of 2015. So just a little bit over 10 years now, about the 3,712 days ago. I don't know, I'm making that up, but because I know that you are keeping track of days. But I jumped full time into my firm in 2015 and was full speed ahead, left corporate because it was an interesting adventure, corporate IT, went to the firm. And then 4.5 months after I went into the firm full time, I started looking at an acquisition opportunity. So started looking at that acquisition opportunity, moved forward with it, and then closed on that practice March 1st, 2016. And I remember it very vividly. Number one, because it was my first acquisition. Number two, March 1st, to acquire an accounting firm smack in the middle of tax season was an adventure that no one could have ever prepared me for. But it was very life-changing for multiple reasons. Number one, expanded the firm. Number two, I learned a lot about acquisitions. And three, it stretched me as a leader, honestly. So that's I would say that's the quick version. That's the quick-ish version of kind of how we've got from the early 2000s to here we are, 2025, almost 2 decades later, running this firm.
Incredible story. Just and I just wanted to do a follow-up question. So you had, like, you told me 7 years or 8 years, like, doing the two things, having the firm and being the IT manager, and that's something that it's like that, right? 8 years.
It was about 8 years that it was on side hustle status.
Whoa. I can imagine it was hard, but well, still now it's well, I introduced you. You're the firm owner. You're a speaker. You're a husband. You're a dad. How do you manage? This is a good question. It's funny that I say that it's a good question. How do you manage just to have that balance between keeping up with your clients, with your team, with your children, with life?
Yeah,
How do you manage that?
that's a great question. It is literally a full time juggling act. However, I say that it's easier now. In the beginning, though, I mean, there were a lot of things. Just I was always juggling various things, and as time progressed, I realized that the best way to do all of it was to be present in whatever space that I was in, to be like physically, mentally, emotionally be present there. So when I'm at the office, my team, they have my attention. When I'm at home, my wife, my kids have my attention. And so, sometimes that balance can get a little off and you kind of got like all of the things are competing for your attention. And you just kind of have to make an executive decision on like what's happening and what's the most critical at this moment. And so I'm very conscious about like what is it that I'm doing and who needs me to be most present in this moment. And I rock with it. Like that's how I roll. And so you can't do everything all the time. Something is going to have to take a lower priority, and you just got to figure out like what's going to take the lower priority right now, and hopefully it doesn't cause mass destruction after the fact.
No, that's true. But the truth, it's also that nowadays, even at work, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that all of us, I don't know if I want to put everyone in the same basket, but right now, before just recording this episode, I realized, hey, I just need to close this. And I looked at my couple of windows that I have here with all this like 1,400 different tabs. Sometimes it's hard because you're doing one thing and then you got this email that it's urgent, and then you have, I don't know, your children calling you, and I agree with you, but it's definitely a hard thing that we all somehow need just to face and
Yeah.
yeah, deal with it. Perfect. I don't want to ask. I don't want to forget. Here, in humans in accounting, basically everyone, we are all talking about AI, and I want to just focus a little bit more on the human part. I usually leave this question for like one of the last ones, but now I realize that I want to ask you this. And since I am the host, I can do it. So let me ask you, Tony, what's your favorite food? Quick question. Favorite
Ooh,
food?
right out the
Yeah.
gate, what's the favorite food? My favorite food, like just like one food or like meal, like because I can go either way. Which one?
Right. No, meal, like one and the best, like what you like the most. Yeah.
Okay. So meal, hands down, smothered turkey wings, mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans. And then
Perfect.
you got to top it off, Alex, with some homemade peach cobbler. I mean, you just that just puts it over the top right there. Some homemade peach cobbler with like a little whipped cream or vanilla ice cream on top. As my son,
And
who's a aspiring chef, chef's kiss.
whoa. But hold on. This is something that you prepare. That who prepares this?
That's me. That's my meal. Like if I'm like, yo, I gotta eat my last meal. Someone says, what's gonna be your last meal before you check up out of here? Some other turkey wings, some mashed potatoes with gravy, green beans, and then give me some peach cobbler to just send me off.
Great. Perfect. But you would prefer that you to make that to do it instead of
Ooh.
someone else, correct? Or
So who should make it? The person that should make it and has made it the best, unfortunately, is no longer here. It was my grandma. My
okay.
grandmother used to tear down with some with them turkey wings, boy oh boy. And so if at this point I will do it. My family actually likes when I cook, but when I do it, it doesn't quite hit the same as when my grandmother did it.
It's incredible what happens with food. Like maybe you go to a place and you ask for that, and they prepared like with something similar how your grandmother was preparing it. It takes you. It's like this movie. I'm not sure how to say it in English. Maybe it's the same. Ratatouille. Is that a movie? Is that a Disney movie? Do you know the one with the rat?
Ratatouille, I think. Yeah.
Ratatouille. Okay, have you seen that one?
Yes.
Okay. Remember that when I don't know that this guy is like trying. What he's trying? Oh, Ratatouille, and it brings the memory back when he was a child. So yeah, that's something amazing that it's happening with yeah, that happens with food. Perfect. So I'll just put my objective here, Tony, is I just want to put a ranking of the top yeah, food of humans in accounting of all the guests. This is probably the first one that I've got, but well, it has one vote. Maybe down the road we have a few more. Let's go back to your company, to your business. Tell me, I want to know, like, yeah, what's the, because you've been in the business for so many years, in all these years, like what's a big milestone, a big achievement, something that, yeah, the first thing that comes to mind when I say milestone.
So the biggest milestone was to transition
Right.
full time. So that transition into full time in the firm, and then less than half a year later to do an acquisition, like that is one of the biggest kind of gold stars on the wall. I actually, like, when I'm trying to remember when something happened, I use that, like, that's my benchmark. That's
Yeah.
my point. Like, was it pre-acquisition or was it post-acquisition? And then I try to drill down a little further in there. And it's almost like, well, at this point, it's almost the halfway point in the life of the firm. Of course, now it's been more years, and so it's getting a little further spread. But like, that was definitely one of the biggest milestones that I've had in the firm.
Yeah, for sure. Like Jesus, right? Like before Jesus and after Jesus. For you, that's your Jesus, right?
That is my Jesus part. Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, that's great. And I want to ask you, like, was that like an idea that you had in mind for a few years and you were just waiting just to pull the trigger? Something specifically happened, you got like 5 clients directly and you said, hey, now is the moment. Let's go back to that Jesus moment.
Yeah. So as crazy as it may be, there was a magic moment, but there wasn't a magic moment.
Okay.
It was divinely orchestrated. I don't know how else to say. It was because when I left corporate because corporate was corporating. That's all I can say about that. And so I was like, okay, it is actually time for me to make a transition. And so the best thing to do is to go full time in my firm and just literally walk in faith that when I leave and I go full time into my firm, that it's going to be good. So it was the first couple of months, I was just like, dude, are you crazy? Because I did not have like this large amount of clients that I could no longer handle. I just had like a decent client load, but it definitely was not a client load that would sustain being full time at that point. But when that acquisition came along, and this is who I am, I was just like, okay, if God provided the opportunity for me to leave my previous role in corporate, right, and go full time into my firm and ultimately not really skip a beat in the grand scheme of things, and then present an opportunity for me to acquire another firm that was about the same size as mine, I was just like, hey, like, I'm hands off at this point, and I'm literally walking on the water, and I'm walking in faith. So a lot of people have asked me that question, like, what was that magic moment? I was like, God, like, that is the answer.
No, perfect. Sometimes there's no magic moment, and it's just a matter of jumping and doing it. And well, decades later, you were in Humans in Accounting telling all of us this story. So this is great. You know, I want to ask you, probably, you know what, this is, I never ask my guests because I try just not to talk about AI, but it's impossible. The truth is, it's impossible. This is happening, and it's like on top of our minds, like to all of us. So I want to ask you, like, what's, from all the tools that you, everything, and from the AI perspective, what's the thing that shocked you the most most likely this was something that happened yesterday or last week, or it's probably something that it's going to come up tomorrow. What's something that you're saying, wow, incredible that this is something that it's actually happening?
I think the speed at which it has shown up on a global perspective, and the way that on a larger scale, for the most part, it has been globally embraced. So a lot of times when something new comes out, they're like, oh, I don't know, that seems a little weird. And it did seem a little weird initially, but that it seems weird period was very short. And then all of a sudden it became a new verb in our vocabulary. Hey, I needed something. Oh, okay, I'm going to go and AI it. Like that is part of our conversation now. And the reality is, like, okay, AI has been around forever. I mean, we got all kind of artificial intelligence that's just been happening because it's just a way of tech overall. But at the consumer level, it is very interesting that whether you are 5, 6, or 7, or 105, 106, 107 years old, everybody is like, oh, I love AI, whether I'm writing a quick little note or if I'm running financial analysis. Like, it happens so quick. It's like tomorrow it's going to be like, oh, yeah, what we did yesterday, scrap it. We got a whole different way of doing it. And people were going to be like, oh, great. So it's fun to me because I'm a nerd. So yeah, that's one of the most interesting pieces about it.
The speed, definitely. I ask you specifically this question because I asked that question to me, and still, like, the answer for that question, like, what's the thing that I'm still most shocked about AI? Something that happened to me with you, actually, 449 days ago, or 448 days ago, with you and with Wyatt. I was, for the first time, I got into a Waymo, Uber-less or driverless car.
Yeah.
I mean, this happened again over a year and a half ago. I'm Argentinian. I was in another country, and actually selected we were going to go just to have lunch. I remember, to this great place. Was it Thai food?
It was Thai food. Yeah.
That was a great restaurant in Scottsdale, and I ordered it through. I didn't even have the app. I was in Uber, and I said, okay, let's get us an Uber. And I got this pop-up message saying, hey, there's no available Uber. We can send you this one instead. I just said, yeah, sure, well, whatever you want. And suddenly this car with no driver arrived and took us to this restaurant that was a couple of miles away from the hotel where we were staying. And this is still something up to date that is, for me, mind-blowing. An Argentinian and Arizona using his own phone, ordering a car, and that took us safely. At some point we were...
You're ready to say, we arrived, but we arrived in a very interesting manner, Alex.
Yeah, but I measure things like from the objective perspective, and the truth is that it took us to the restaurant, and yeah, that was incredible. But yeah, that was that U-turn. I asked you a few months ago for that video. Incredible. But well, it made decisions. And on top of everything, the cherry on top is that it was $1 less than actually getting an Uber. That's something that still, seriously, up to now, it's probably the craziest thing that happened with AI. I'm shocked every single day with a new feature and a new tool. But it's incredible that happened to us. Let me ask you. I want to ask you, Tony, specifically about this. I've realized probably there was an inflection point, or I realized that after Scottsdale, you started doing videos, it was one random Tuesday, and then suddenly I saw all these videos that they were great. And I want to ask you, how did that happen? Tell me, I want to know that, because all of us, I'm pretty sure that listeners and people watching and all the platforms, I can say like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, maybe they're walking and they say they can probably think, hey, I would love just to be a little bit more, just create more content, be able just to post on LinkedIn, to post on social media, to do a video like Tony is doing. What happened, or how did you decide just to start with that?
So I've been doing kind of videos here and there, but for me, I felt like I needed a little bit of an injection or a boost, if you will. And so I happened to be scrolling through LinkedIn, and somebody was like, "Hey, there's this VPD experiment." I'm like, "VPD experiment? Experiment? Okay, let me see. Tell me more." And so it was video per day. So for the month of November, and I'm sure we're probably going to do it again this year, one video every single day of the month. And it's not for like professional folks who are just like content heroes. It's for people that are content heroes, but then folks who are like, yo, I can't even stand the sound of my voice, or I don't even want to see myself on camera. And so it's an opportunity to just kind of get out of your own way. We're talking, it could be 45 seconds, 60 seconds, just a quick little video. It can be scripted if that's the way you want to roll. It can be unscripted. I went unscripted, and ultimately I just recorded a quick little minute or so about what happened that day. Whether I had a great day, whether I had an interesting day, whether somebody made me upset or disappointed, whatever it may be, quick little minute. And it's uncut, it's unfiltered, and hit the post button. Like we're not editing, we're not making it all nice and cute and fuzzy and make sure that your lighting is all perfect. No, turn on the phone, record, blah, 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 blah.
Perfect. And you did that for an entire month. Results? What can you tell me? What happened after that month?
In my head, I was like, there's going to be two people who see this. It's useless. Like, why am I even doing this? It's a waste of my time. And here we are almost a year later, and people are like, hey, like, dude, that video that you recorded, or you said this, or you said that, like, man, that really hit me. And I was just like, yo, for me, it was just turn this stupid video. Honestly, for me, it was checking the box. And because I committed to another one of my friends in the industry that I was going to do it, I didn't want them to hold me accountable for not doing what I said I was going to do. So it was just like, I mean, I think even one day I even probably recorded a video and was like, yo, I'm only doing this so I don't get fined. I don't have much to say, but my commitment is a video a day. So I hope that y'all get this. Maybe some of y'all won't. And then I posted it. But so many people were like, oh my gosh, amazing. I loved it. I love hearing what you had to say, and da-da-da-da. People have been like, hey, would love to have a longer conversation with you. I had people that have came to me and was like, hey, like your energy, love it. Would love to do some more stuff. And so I've been on more stages, I've been in more platforms than I could have ever imagined, honestly, because I took this step and said, hey, I'm just going to do it because one of my friends said, join me. And so, man, it's so powerful how things can shift when you just take the first step. I didn't mean for that to turn into a whole empowerment session, but makes a difference for sure. I'm talking to myself because Alex got kicked out of the studio. That's fun. So let's see if he comes back in. I could just talk to myself because it's still recording. And so when Alex is watching this or his team is watching it and they need to do an edit, here's B-roll where I am stuck in the room by myself waiting for Alex to come back. Hopefully he'll get back in a minute or so. This is what happens when we talk about AI. AI just did us a disservice. This is hilarious. This is so hilarious that I have an opportunity to just sit and talk to a room of nobody, and the fact that Alex is probably going to be like, yo, this dude literally is sitting here talking to himself for who knows how much time. I can't sing, so I can't give any hold music. So I'm just going to wait, see hopefully if he comes back in here in maybe 2 minutes.
All right. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know. I dropped off. My internet connection was not so good, but here we are. So you were telling me, like, I asked you for probably all this is recorded, but I asked you for what were the results and you were telling me that, yeah, many people watch this, including myself. I was probably one of those telling you, hey, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And was there anything else that you got from that experience? Now
Yeah. So it was definitely it definitely broadcasted my voice, if you will, my personality to so many more people, and it presented me with additional opportunities to be on various platforms. So I've had more opportunities to do some podcasts, more opportunities to do speaking engagements, collaboration opportunities with different vendors in our industry. And so it was an amazing experience. And I'm going to do it again this year. And I probably will be the one that's motivating some other folks in my circles to join me. And so I'll have an opportunity to be a champion, just like someone else was a champion for me last year. So it was an amazing experience for sure.
This is recorded, so I don't want to commit myself, but at the same time, I want to be one of those.
Dude, absolutely. You already know that. So I'm coming directly for you.
All right.
I'm going to take a clip from our podcast recording and say, hey dude, where you at?
Okay, you got it. I'm gonna do that. Then let's select a month. But yeah, you said it before, like something really important is make someone else accountable for the things that you're gonna do. So well, I guess this is me telling you that's great. Well, that's great advice, Tony. I want to just to wrap up the episode, a question that I really like, and the truth, Tony, is that I've learned a lot through this question. I've been asking to guests here in the podcast, but also to friends, families, and people that I know. What's a good advice? What's a good advice that you can give someone considering starting their own firm, not necessarily from the accounting industry, but someone who is at that point where you were at a few years ago, saying, "Hey, I don't have a specific reason, but I think this is the best way to go." What's a good advice that you can give? Maybe someone in the future watching this in YouTube.
So I've had some mentors in my circle, and there was I don't recall who exactly said it, but it definitely was a shift in my mindset. But it was along the lines of action trumps perfection. And what that means is do it. Just take that step. If it's the wrong step, then step back. Maybe it's the wrong time. Maybe it's the wrong place, whatever the case may be. But just take action. Now, don't get it twisted. It sounds cool. Just go out and take action. Great. But make sure you have some plan in place. Like, if I take this step and things take off, what's going to be my plan? If I take this step and things don't go as I've planned them out, what's my plan to bring it back? Because it sounds good for me to say, hey, just take action. But if you take action, but you don't know what the next step is, now you're stuck all over again. So sometimes you don't know if you're ready. Like, everyone asks the question, when are you ready to go out on your own? When are you ready to do your own thing? When are you ready to get married? When are you ready to have kids? Like,
you're never ready.
You're never ready. So you just gotta go and do it, and then put the things in place that's going to help you as you continue to put another foot in front of the other man.
Powerful advice, and I agree, like a little bit over 100% with what you said, with those words and that specific order. That's great. And you said, like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Maybe the worst thing is you're gonna make it. Maybe that's not a good decision, but you're gonna learn.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if learning it's such a bad outcome.
But guess what happens when you learn? You have more data. And so now if I have to take a step back, I have more data so that the next time that I take a step, I'm making a more informed decision than I did before. So though you may think that it didn't go as planned or it was a failure, it was a lesson. And so now I've learned something and I can make a better informed decision. Sounds like a win to me.
No, sounds like a win to any human. Tony, I cannot thank you so much for making this together. I had a great time. What happens to people in the future watching this episode on Spotify? They want to reach out to you. What's the best way? I know you're active in social media, but what's the best way just to reach out, or maybe a client that wants just to work with you?
Yeah.
How can they reach out?
So website, Proctor Tax Prep is the business. IamTonyProctor.com is my personal website. I am Tony Proctor on Instagram, and then LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for 100 years, so my name is actually Tony Proctor. My username on LinkedIn is Tony Proctor. So we'd love to have conversations, again, whether from a client standpoint, hey, I just want to talk to somebody who has similar energy as me. Would love the opportunity to have those conversations. And so people have poured into me, and so I want to return a favor and pour into others as well.
That's great. Tony, thank you so much for joining today. And well, I guess I'll see you probably in the next event. Well, when's the next time I'll see you? Are you going to Intuit?
I will be at Intuit Connect. I actually got a session that I'll be doing with my buddy Nio Carter Gray. For those who know her, she's a doggone rock star out there. That's like my sister from another mister. So yeah, we'll be at Connect.
We all know Nio, and yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there taking pictures and posting it on LinkedIn, telling everyone all the things that I have learned. Tony, awesome. Thank you so much for being in Humans in Accounting. Talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Alex.
Bye.